Hello, I'm Kay from the Astra team, and in this video, I will teach you how to build the homepage of our website. Now, this video is part of a course organized in a playlist for which you'll find a link in the description below. And if you want to get the most out of it, I strongly encourage you to follow this course in the exact order the videos are organized in the playlist. Now, in order to help you complete this website project, you'll find a link in the description of this video where you can download the course files. Now, as you may recall, at the beginning of this course, we imported a ready-made website with the Starter Templates plugin. This ready-made website came with the homepage, the About page, the Services page, and the Contact page. And today we will be editing the homepage so that it matches our brand and our content. Now, this course is free, and in order to allow a maximum of people to follow along, all the tools used in this course are also free. And even if you don't have a web hosting and domain, you could always create a website locally on your machine with tools like Local by Flywheel, for example. But if you want to take this to the next level, you may want to consider an even more powerful combo with the Essential or Business Toolkits from Astra, which will not only give you access to priority support, but also access to several premium plugins like Astra Pro, premium starter templates, but also access to the ultimate add-ons for Elementor plugin, a popular all-in-one add-on that enhances Elementor's capabilities, offering more than 50 cool widgets, like the content toggle widget, the before and after slider widget, or the popular hotspots widget, just to name a few, as well as 200 plus pre-built blocks for all of your Elementor needs. Because most probably, once you're done with this course and realize that there is no limit to what you want to create, you will want to take it to the next level. Now, I will get back to this later in the course, but if you're interested, you will find a link to get ultimate add-ons for Elementor in the description below. Okay, now let's start building our homepage. Ready? So let's get started. So in WordPress, you want to go to Pages, All Pages, then hover over Home and click on Edit with Elementor. And the first thing you want to do is select our container. So you can either select here or here in the Structure panel. Next, go to the Style tab. And as you can see here, we get a prompt that the image doesn't contain all text, which is necessary for accessibility and SEO. Now, in case you don't know, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization, and this is beyond the scope of this course, but basically a good practice is to do it as you go, adding the description of the image you are dealing with. But we'll discuss about the best practices in a later lesson. For the time being, click on Choose Image, and we're going to pick this image from our media library. Then click on Select. Great. Now we can start changing our text. So let's open our course files, go into the text subfolder, and open the home text file. So in the text file, you can see it's organized by container, the hero container, services, testimonials, and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is to copy each container label, and we're going to mirror it here in the structure panel. And in case you forgot to open the structure panel, all you need to do is click on the structure panel icon. Next, let's double click on the first container and let's paste the name we just copied. So let's repeat the operation for each container. All right, now let's go back up to our hero container. And now we can start copying and pasting the text. So the first one is websites, and this is the one we want to change. But as you can see, it's a bit complicated because it's overlapping with another heading. So that's when the structure panel comes in handy, because we can see here, it's this heading here that we want to edit. So now that we've selected the heading here, we can change the text right here on the left panel. I'm just going to paste it here. Awesome. Next, let me go to Style, and let's align it on the right-hand side. Great. Let's go back to our text file. Let's copy the second line. Now let's select our second heading, content, and let's repeat the operation. Then one more time, go to the Style tab and align on the right-hand side. Next, let's go back to our text file. Let's select our third line. Let's go back. Now let's select our text editor here in the structure panel. And I'm going to remove everything and paste what we just copied. And then once again, go to Style and Align on the right-hand side. Next, let me close the structure panel so we can see what we're doing. And I'm just going to hover over the button and click on the pencil icon. Now, as mentioned earlier, this button is currently not doing its job because it's invisible, the colors are bad, and it doesn't match our brand. So let's take care of it now. So first of all, here in the Content tab, let's change the text to Discover. And where you see link, right after the £, type services. Now, this is what is called an anchor link, which means we're just going to link to another spot on this very page. So we're going to stay on the page, and I'll show you that in a moment. But first, let's finish styling our button. So where you see icon, click on the icon library, then type down, and let's pick this one, chevron down. Click insert. Icon position should be set to after, and icon spacing should be set to 12. Next, click on the Style tab, and where it says Typography, click on the pencil icon, and let's decrease the size to 13 pixels. Next, in the Transform dropdown, select Uppercase. Great, let's close this. And now for the colors. So for the text color, let's pick color number 6 from our global color palette. And for the background color, let's pick color number 5. Now for the border type, you want to select Solid. The border width should be 1 pixel all around, and the border color should be set to color number 5. Next, click on the Hover subtab, and once again the text color should be set to color number 6, the background color set to color number 5, and the same for the border color, color number 5. Next, where you see border radius, type 90. So now, as you can see, we are consistent with our call to action button in our header. Now, earlier on, I told you that when we click on Discover, that would take us to another spot on the same page, an anchor link. So if you recall, let me go back to the Content tab. We give it a link, # services. So what we need to do now is select our services section. And once again, if you're not sure, open the structure panel, click on services. Then let's go to Advanced, and where you see CSS ID, you want to give it Services as a name, exactly like this. Don't put the $, just Services, which is the label we gave it in the button link. So now let me go into preview mode, and as I click on Discover, magically it's taking us to our Services section. As easy as that. So let me go back to our interface and let's click on Publish. Great. So now we can continue editing the content of our page. So for that, let's go back to our text file and let's copy our first line. And this is our title. So I'm just going to paste it right here. Great. Now let's take care of our images. So let's select our first image, click on the pencil icon, click on Choose Image, and we're going to select this image here. Then click on Select, and onto the second image. Let's repeat the process. Choose Image, and this time let's pick this image. Click on Select, and onto the third image. One more time, choose Image, and this time we're going to pick this image here. Then click on Select, and earlier on I mentioned brand consistency, which means that you should have some kind of brand guideline so that there is a consistency throughout the design of your website and of your brand. So for that, let's select the first image. Let's go to the Style tab, and where you see border radius, let's give this image a border radius of 5. And now as you can see, the corners are a bit more rounded, which is in line with our buttons and call to actions. And now if you want to apply the same effect to the other images, it's super easy. Let's just right click on the first image, click on Copy, then right click on the second image and click on Paste Style. And let's repeat the operation for the third image. Paste style. So now we saved a lot of time to do exactly the same thing. Now that's great, but I would like to add something that was not in the imported ready-made website. And it's simply that I'd like to add a button that would take us to the next section. Now you may be wondering, why do we even need this? People can just scroll, right? Well, yes and no. First of all, it's always better to have a kind of funnel where you show people what to do. Click here, click there. It's a proven tactic. It just works. And second, if you're on the mobile, you're going to be scrolling. So sometimes a little help to go faster where you want to go on the page is always appreciated. So for that, we need to create a new container. And the structure panel will be super handy for that. So first of all, let me collapse everything. And I'm just going to open our services container. And as you can see, we have a subcontainer, which in turn contains the rest of our content, namely a heading, a divider, and another subcontainer that contains all of our services. So basically what I want to do is to add a button at that same level, so just below the container. So now what I'm going to do is select the last element here, which is our container, then right click, click on add new container. So it's this one right here. Then I'm going to click on the plus sign and click on button. As you can see, by default, the buttons come with inappropriate colors and shape. Now I showed you earlier on how we can copy and paste styles. So that's what we're going to do right now. So first of all, let's scroll back up. Then let's select our button. And before we copy, there's one more thing we want to change. So let's go to style, then click on the hover subtab. And where you see hover animation, type Bob and click on it. So now when we hover over the button, you can see this hovering effect. So next, right click, click on copy. And now let's scroll down, then select our button here, right click, and click on paste style. Awesome. Now let's go back to our project file, copy the label, go back, and let's change this label. Next, where it says link, right after the pound sign, you want to type testimonials, exactly written like this. Then let's select our icon library, type down, and once again, select chevron down. Then click on insert and make sure the icon position is set to after. And once again, if you want this to work, you need to select the Testimonials container, either by clicking here on the 6 dots or by opening the structure panel, and let me collapse all of this, and selecting the Testimonials container right here. Then go to advanced, and where you see CSS ID, you want to write testimonials. Now, the best way to not make a mistake is just to click back on the button, just copy the text here that you put right after the pound sign, right click, copy, and then select the testimonials container, go to advanced, CSS ID, and right click and paste. So now you're sure there is no typo whatsoever. And once again, if you go into preview mode, click on testimonials, and it works as it should. So let's go back to our interface and let's save our work. Next, the testimonials container. So just click on the image here. It's a bit hard to see, but it's a quote image. So click on the image, then click on choose image, and we're going to select this image here. Next, click on select, and voila. Next, let's select our text here. And as you can see, it's a heading widget. Click on the style tab, and where you see text color, let's pick color number 6. Now let's go back to our project text file. Let's select our text, copy, and back with our heading selected, go to the content tab, and let's replace the original text. Next, you want to click on the text just below the photo, then go to the style tab, and where you see text color, we're going to pick color number 9. Great. So as usual, let's click on publish to save our work, and let's move on to the about us container. And as usual, let's copy the text from the course files. So for the button, let's change the label. But this time for the link, we don't want an anchor link. We want a real link that's going to take us to the About Us page. So I'm just going to start typing About, and there you go. Elementor found it. This is the About page. So I'm just going to click on it. And now this button is going to link to the About page. So as usual, I'm just going to scroll back up, right click on the button, copy. Then let me scroll down, right click on my button here and click on paste style. So just a few tweaks to do. So with my button selected, first of all, I want to align it on the left-hand side. And then where it says icon, let me click on icon library. And this type, I'm going to type right. Next, I'm going to select chevron right, click on insert, and make sure the icon position is set to after. So now that gives a visual clue that is taking the user somewhere else and not down on the page, if that makes sense. Great. Let me scroll back up. Let me close the structure panel and let me select this image here. Then click on choose image and we're going to select this image here. Next, click on select. Awesome. Let's click on publish and let's scroll down. So this is our last container for the page, and if you open the structure panel and collapse everything by clicking on this icon, you can see it's our call to action banner. So let's select it, and first where it says minimum height, you want to change the unit to VH and change the value to 75. Next, you want to go to advanced, and where it says padding, let's give it a padding of 40 pixels all around. And in case you don't know, the padding of a container is the distance between the edge of the container and the content. And basically it gives white space around the content and makes it look more professional. So next, with our container selected, click on the Style tab, click on Choose Image, and we're going to select this image here. Then click on Select. Great, but now as you can see, it's going to be hard to read the text. So for that, we need to add a background overlay. So collapse the background tab and click on background overlay. Then where you see background type, select gradient. And for the first color, click on the globe icon and let's pick theme color number 4. For the second color, it should be set to theme color number 5. So that's already much better, but of course we need to change the color of the text. So let's select our first heading, then go to our course file, copy the text, and replace it here. Then go to style, and where you see text color, let's set it to theme color number 6. Then let's select our second line, go to our course file, copy the second line, then back, and let's replace the text. Then once again, go to style, text color, and set it to color number 6. Now let's go back to our course file and copy the button label text. Then go back and select the button and replace the text. And this time we want to link it to the contact page. So let me remove the pound sign, type contact, and Elementor found it. This is our contact page, so click on it. Now let's scroll back up. Let's right click on this button, copy. Then let's scroll back down, right click on our button and paste style. Now make sure you select the button and let's change the alignment to center. Click on the icon library, type right, and let's select chevron right. Then click on insert and make sure the icon position is set to after. Next, click on style, set the text color to color number 5, select the background color to color number 6, and the border color to color number 6 as well. Next, click on the hover subtab. Text color should be set to theme color number 6. Background color should be set to color number 4, as well as the border color number 4. And let's click on publish to save our work. Next, finishing touches. So we're almost done, but there's a couple of things we want to take care of. The first one is the size of the hero section. And the second one is about the visibility of the transparent header. So let's start with the first one. So in WordPress, hover over the name of your website and click on Visit Site. Next, click on Edit with Elementor. And now we want to select our hero section. We can either click here on the 6 dots or here in the structure panel. So once the hero section is selected, go to the left panel and where you see minimum height, you want to change the unit to VH and then you want to change the value to 85. And voila, that was super easy. So let's click on publish to save our work. And if I go back to the front end and refresh, there you go. Much better. Now let's take care of the second issue, which is the visibility of the menu in the transparent header. Because depending on which image you're using, the menu will be more or less visible in the transparent header. So back in the Elementor builder and still with our hero section selected, you want to go to Style. Then you want to close the background subtab and open the background overlay subtab. Next, click on the gradient icon. Now for the first color, you can basically pick any color. Then click on the color itself and drag the opacity slider all the way to the left to make it completely transparent. And next, where you see second color, you want to open the global colors, and it's going to be color number 4. Next, for location, you want to change it to 73%. And next, where you see angle, you want to change it from 180 to 90 degrees. Next, we want to change the opacity and bump it to 0.8. Great. Let's save our work. And now if we go back to the front end and refresh, and there you go. As you can see, the menu is now perfectly visible. Now you can do this on a page per page basis because this is super flexible. It basically allows you to use any image you want. All you need to do is to change the gradient to make your navigation visible. But if you want to use the same gradient we use for this page, you should be pretty safe for the rest of the website. Now there's one last thing we can change. We can see there's a big gap here between the hero section and the next container. So back in the Elementor builder, let's select the next container. Once again, by clicking on the 6 dots here or here in the structure panel. Then you want to go to advanced, and where you see padding top, we want to change it from 70 to 40. Then click on publish. And now if we go back to the front end and refresh our page, there you go. And here's what we created. So first we got this beautiful hero section, and if we click on discover, it's taking us to the My Services container. Now, as we scroll down, we can see our images with our rounded corner. And once again, we can go to the testimonial section. Then we have the About Us page. And if I click on it, it takes us to the About Us page as intended. So let me go back. And now let's scroll down. And if I click on our button here, it's taking me to the Contact Us page, as it should. So as you can see, with the imported ready-made website as well as the course file, building the homepage was a breeze. And it should now give you a pretty good idea of how to edit the rest of the website. And that's precisely what we're going to do, because in the next video, we will be building the About page.